Okay, let's dive into something truly profound today. Imagine if one ancient text held the key not just to understanding ourselves, but, well, to grasping the very fabric of existence itself.
Hmm.
We're taking a deep dive into On the Heart,
Oh,
a fascinating work by Xin Yu from back in January 1994.
right.
And this isn't just about, a biological organ. This text explores how foundational Eastern traditions, Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, how they all sort of converge on this concept of the heart.
Yeah, they all emphasize it.
Exactly, each seeking to illuminate it or cultivate it or preserve it, but in their own unique ways.
And what's truly captivating about this text, I think, is how it pushes us beyond any um, superficial understanding. It reveals that within each of us, there isn't just one singular heart,
Oh, interesting.
but two distinct natures. So our mission today really is to explore these two fundamental hearts, to understand their profound differences and maybe discover how discerning them can utterly transform your perspective on everything.
Every
Well, yeah, from your innermost experiences right out to the grand cosmic order, it's quite a journey from the internal to the universal.
And this is where, for me, the text truly comes alive. Because Xinyu immediately establishes this critical foundational distinction,
Mm.
what he calls the human heart and the Tao heart.
Mm.
And he characterizes the human heart as precarious and the Tao heart as subtle.
Precarious and subtle, right?
It's almost like discovering we're operating on two entirely different internal operating systems, simultaneously.
That's a great way to put it.
So, for you listening, what do these two profoundly different hearts actually feel like in our daily experience? How does Xinyu describe their fundamental characteristics?
That's a really good question because it moves beyond just definitions, right, into lived experience.
Mm.
So the human heart, which the text also labels the precarious heart, well, that's the one we're probably most familiar with. It's intimately linked to our physical body, our temperament, our desires, and our immediate reactions to the world around us. You could imagine it as the part of you that is constantly moved by things, a compliment, a slight, a beautiful sunset, getting stuck in traffic.
Right, the everyday ups and downs.
Exactly. It's continuously generating emotions and thoughts in response to these external circumstances. And because it's so driven by desire and external stuff, the text calls it the dusty heart.
Dusty heart.
Yeah, dusty, not like it's dirty necessarily, but more like cluttered, obscured by this constant stream of worldly attachments and fleeting emotions. It never really settles.
Oh, okay.
And Shinyu suggests that if we cling to this human heart or, its external manifestations like status or wealth or even just our daily emotional roller coaster,
Hmm.
we end up in this perpetual struggle, a struggle between what's truly principle-driven and what's just desire-driven.
Right.
And this ultimately leads to laboring the heart without achievement. That's the phrase used.
Laboring without achievement sounds exhausting.
It is. It means all that effort, all that striving. It often doesn't bring lasting fulfillment. It culminates, as the text describes it, in a life of suffering, limited by the cycles of birth and death, without accessing that deeper, unshakable joy. The insight here, really, is that our daily anxieties and dissatisfactions, they often aren't a sign that we're fundamentally broken.
Okay.
It's more like a misdirection of our internal energy, a focus on the shifting sands of this reactive human heart.
So the human heart is our conditioned reactive self, basically, our everyday mind almost.
You could say that, yeah.
But then there's this other one, this contrasting nature.
Exactly. In stark contrast, we have the Tao heart,
Yeah.
also called the subtle heart.
Yeah.
And this is described in really expansive terms.
Mm.
Solely still, non-acting.
Non-acting.
Yeah, it embodies our heavenly nature.
Yeah.
Now, when the text describes it as limitless chaos, unchanging as it is, with yin and yang not yet divided, it's easy to misunderstand chaos.
Right. Chaos usually sounds bad.
It does. But here, it's not chaos in the sense of disorder or confusion. Not at all. Rather, it signifies a kind of primordial, undifferentiated state. Pure potential, maybe, before the world of distinctions and dualities like yin and yang has fully manifested.
Okay, like a source point.
Exactly. The unconditioned source from which all order eventually emerges. Think of it like pure, unmanifested consciousness. The text even calls it the Buddha heart,
Wow.
which powerfully emphasizes that it is inherently possessed by everyone. This is so crucial.
So it's already there.
It's already within us. It's not something we need to go out and acquire. However, and this is the key part, this profound Tao heart often becomes constrained by key endowment and obscured by object desires.
Okay, break that down. Key endowment.
Key endowment refers to our sort of unique energetic blueprint, our predispositions, our inherent physical and mental constitution. Think of like our natural talents or weaknesses. These can either support or hinder our connection to the Tao heart, depending on how we cultivate them.
And object desires.
Those are the external attachments we were just talking about,
Yeah.
the things the human heart chases. So when these things, our basic makeup and our desires, constrain and obscure it, the Tao heart can feel lost. It gets drowned out by the more clamorous desire heart, that human heart we described. The real insight here is that while we are all fundamentally connected to this profound, still unchanging nature, the everyday noise of our lives, well, it often prevents us from hearing it or experiencing it directly.
Wow. Okay. So Xinyu makes this striking point then that even our seemingly good or evil intentions and actions as they manifest in daily life, they're primarily expressions of this ordinary human heart,
That's right.
not the true Buddha heart of the heart method.
Exactly.
That really challenges how we often judge ourselves and others, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, if both virtue and vice in their everyday forms just stem from a reactive, desire-driven part of us rather than our deepest, unchanging nature, what does that say about the true measure of character?
It's a fundamental reevaluation, isn't it? It suggests that while, yes, actions have consequences and society obviously needs moral frameworks,
Yeah.
true spiritual liberation, perhaps, comes from transcending those very dualities of good and evil as they manifest from the human heart.
Going deeper.
Right. Operating from a deeper source altogether, which then, naturally, raises the critical question for you listening. If we all inherently possess this subtle Tao heart, how do we actually nurture it? How do we bring it to the forefront of our experience?
Yeah.
Well, the text offers a very clear path. It states that to nurture the Tao heart, nothing is more effective than, quote, reducing desires, gradually uniting heart and nature, and specializing in spirit and form.
Reducing desires, uniting heart and nature, specializing in spirit and form.
Okay, these aren't just abstract concepts. They are presented as essential, actionable steps for the Tao heart to truly reside within us, to become our primary way of being.
That's fascinating because it gives us a direction. It's not just identifying the problem. So let's zero in on this particular approach then. The text highlights a specific path for this cultivation, the Huazong formless method. This method aims to impart what Xinyu calls the latent inherent heart, which is our original nature, and he explicitly calls it the non-acting Buddha nature.
Yes.
And the text states that exhausting the heart is knowing the nature is knowing the universe's 10 directions world.
Whoa.
It's a huge connection.
That's a powerful claim. It's saying that by deeply understanding our own nature, we can somehow comprehend the entire universe.
Precisely. The Huazong method is really about this profound process of self-discovery that, expands to universal understanding. It emphasizes investigating things as the effort of reaching knowledge, specifically to illuminate principles.
Investigating things.
But this isn't just like academic study. It's a deep inquiry into reality, and it has two crucial interconnected aspects. You need both.
Okay, what are they?
First, things refers to what the text calls flow and source study.
Flow and source study. This means delving into foundational scriptures, specifically mentioning the Sutra, Vinaya, and Abhidharma, 3 baskets.
Right, the Tripitaka in Buddhism.
Exactly. So to clarify for me, the sutras are basically the Buddha's discourses, teachings on wisdom. The Vinaya are the rules, ethics, monastic conduct. And the Abhidharma is more the philosophical and psychological analysis of reality.
Okay.
Together, they form a really comprehensive understanding of the path. So this aspect of the method is about understanding the ultimate principles, the source. Second, object desires involves end-beginning study.
End-beginning study.
Yeah, this focuses on the discernment of material things and the reality of the three-dimensional world.
So the world around us.
Right. This is about understanding how those ultimate principles actually manifest in our observable, everyday reality. The end result of the beginning principle, you could say. But crucially, the text stresses the absolute importance of balance here. You can't just do one.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Well, if you investigate things, the abstract principles, the scriptures, but you forget the end beginning, the practical discernment of the material world, you fall into clinging to forms.
Clinging to forms, like getting stuck in ideas.
Exactly, like becoming a dogmatic intellectual maybe. Rigid in your beliefs, but totally disconnected from lived experience.
Okay, I can see that.
Conversely, if you investigate object desires, the material world, but you do it without illuminating the true heart nature of the principle found in those scriptures, the Sutra basket, Well, then it falls into stubborn emptiness.
Stubborn
Yeah,
emptiness.
think of like a pure materialist maybe, or even nihilistic, seeing only the surface, the phenomena, without grasping any deeper meaning or underlying order, just stuff happening.
Right? No connection to source.
Precisely. So avoiding both these pitfalls, the rigid dogma on one side and this kind of barren materialism on the other, is essential for true insight, for connecting with that subtle Buddha heart.
So it's about integrating the two.
It's about integrating the sacred and the mundane, absolutely.
That's a fascinating balance, the idea that, yeah, a purely intellectual approach can trap you just as much as a purely sensory one can lead to emptiness. It really calls for a fully integrated understanding.
Mhm.
And it's fascinating how this personal journey of cultivating the Tao heart through methods like Huazang isn't just about individual well-being in the end.
Oh, it expands outwards.
Right, because Xinyu then takes us on this even grander exploration, suggesting that by understanding our inner nature, we actually begin to perceive the very architecture of the universe itself.
Yeah.
This deep dive really takes us far beyond our individual hearts and into the very blueprint of the cosmos. The text introduces principle, qi, and phenomenon as the core elements underlying all existence.
That's the framework.
So what does this grand design mean for us? How do these elements interact to create everything we experience?
It's a breathtaking expansion of perspective, really. Xinyu presents these three as profoundly interconnected. They're not separate entities operating independently. He states principle is the sovereign of qi. Qi is the fullness of principle.
Okay, unpack that. Principle is the sovereign.
Think of principle as the fundamental laws, the underlying truth, the inherent order or pattern of everything. Like the blueprint.
Got it.
Qi is the vital energy, the life force, the dynamic substance or energy that flows through everything, manifesting that principle.
The energy following the blueprint.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And phenomena, okay, is everything we perceive, all the concrete forms, events, and experiences in the world, the actual manifestation.
The built house, using the blueprint and energy.
Good analogy. The text illustrates this by explaining that phenomena don't arise without principal phenomenon, the underlying pattern or ideal form. And that principal phenomenon doesn't truly manifest without object phenomenon, the concrete thing itself.
So they need each other.
They're completely interdependent. You can't have the house without the blueprint, and the blueprint's reality is only fully expressed when the house is actually built. And this framework gets even richer when connected to pre-heaven and post-heaven concepts.
Pre-heaven and post-heaven, common in Taoism, right?
Very much so. Pre-heaven refers to that which exists before or gives birth to the manifest heaven and earth, the source condition. This represents pure principle. It's characterized by utmost stillness without action, the eternal unchanging heaven.
Stillness again?
Yes, and this aligns directly with the subtle Tao heart and what the text calls the sage realm, a state of unconditioned, perfect understanding.
Okay.
Post-heaven, conversely, is that which heaven gives birth to, the manifest world, the result. This represents phenomenon and the warp and weft of existence where the one key is flowing, silently operating the four seasons, constant change in activity.
The world we see and live in.
Exactly. And this aligns with the human heart and the wise gate, where phenomena are visible and activity reigns. Ultimately, these three elements, principle, key, and phenomenon, they all converge in this grand unity of heaven, earth, and man. It's a truly holistic system.
So it's like a cosmic hierarchy almost, but one that's deeply integrated, not rigidly separate layers.
Very integrated, yes.
And Xinyu doesn't stop there. He then maps these onto different levels of human understanding and being, right? It's not just about the cosmos, it's about us.
Exactly. This framework isn't just abstract cosmology. It defines different modes of engagement with reality. It's a powerful diagnostic tool for self-understanding, really. So, the sage is described as the one who achieves unity of heart nature and illuminates principle.
They see the blueprint.
They see the deepest truths, the fundamental laws. They are operating from the Tao heart, essentially. Then there's the wise. The wise person penetrates qi.
Okay, what does that mean? Penetrating T.
It means they don't just see the events, the phenomena. They grasp the energetic patterns and dynamics, the how and why that drive them. They understand the underlying forces at play, often perceiving implications before they fully manifest.
So they see the energy flows.
Right. Then the fool clings to phenomena.
Just the surface.
Just the surface level events, reacting without understanding deeper causes or patterns. It's like only seeing the ripples on a pond without understanding the stone that caused them, or the nature of the water itself.
Okay.
And then there's the ordinary person, This person is characterized by a kind of dual trap, clinging to phenomena and stubborn emptiness.
Both. How does that work?
They fixate on surface appearances, like the fool, but they also hold on to rigid, empty ideas about reality, maybe fixed beliefs or nihilistic views that prevent deeper insight. The text says they fail to distinguish beginnings and ends. They get lost in the middle of things without a true understanding of where things come from or where they're ultimately going.
That's incredibly clarifying. Wow. So you can really see how these aren't just abstract ideas floating around. They're different levels of insight into reality that profoundly define our experience and, well, our capacity for wisdom.
Exactly.
The text truly lays out a path, doesn't it? To transform from an ordinary person, kind of lost in surface perception, to a sage who sees the universe's deepest truths.
It does.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the text seems to culminate in a description of the way itself, this ultimate all-encompassing principle.
Yes, absolutely. Xinyu describes the way, the Tao, as the ultimate principle that covers and governs all things. It's truly an expansive, almost mystical concept in its scope, yet presented quite rationally. It's described as being without sound or color, unseen yet omnipresent, hidden yet manifest, without beginning or end, and everywhere located while having no location.
Oh, that's a mouthful. Everywhere and nowhere.
Right, it means it's beyond our normal sensory perception, yet it pervades all reality. It's fundamental, without a start or end point. It's simultaneously everywhere and nowhere specific. It's not really a thing, but the very essence of all things.
The ground of being, almost.
You can put it that way. The text emphasizes its nature as utmost true without delusion, silently unmoving, sensing, and thus penetrating. It's the pure, undistorted truth that, when truly perceived, allows for this penetrating understanding of everything.
That description of the way is incredibly powerful. It sounds profoundly spiritual, yeah, a concept encompassing everything from the smallest particle to the grandest cosmos. But the text also suggests very practical implications, right? It's not just metaphysics. How does understanding this universal principle translate into, like, real-world order and even the practicalities of governance on a societal level? How can something so abstract be so applicable?
And this is where Xinyu brilliantly bridges the spiritual and the, you could say, political or social, showing that true wisdom isn't just for personal enlightenment. It's for creating a harmonious world.
Ah, okay.
Jex explains that this universal principle applies to heaven, earth, man, things, and affairs. Literally every single aspect of existence. It directly states, obtaining principle then governs, losing principle then chaos.
Simple but profound.
It's a foundational insight. Order emerges when we align ourselves, our societies, with the inherent truths of the universe. And disorder, chaos, arises when we deviate from them. Let's look at some specific applications mentioned. Knowing principle, section, and pattern allows for the establishment of rites.
Rites like rituals?
Well, yes, but broader than just rituals.
Huh.
Think proper conduct, social norms, the formal structures that reflect the natural order of relationships in society. For example, understanding the principle of respect between generations naturally leads to specific rites or etiquette.
Okay, so social structures based on principle.
Exactly. Similarly, knowing keys, clear, and turbid enables the creation of music.
Music. How does har relate to music?
Music, in this traditional context, isn't just entertainment. It's seen as a powerful tool for harmonizing emotions and spirits. It reflects the balance or imbalance of the vital energy, the eri, within a person or a society.
Ah, like harmonious music reflects clear key.
Precisely. Calm, clear key leads to harmonious music, which in turn is thought to foster social harmony. Turbulent key might lead to jarring music, reflecting or even causing unrest. Furthermore, understanding principles honor and low, keys sinking and floating, and phenomenons advance and retreat, these directly inform effective governance and the appropriate application of punishment.
Okay, that's getting very specific.
It is. It means discerning the inherent value or place of different roles or situations, honor and low, understanding the ebb and flow of societal energy and morale, keys sinking and floating, and recognizing the opportune moments for action or restraint based on circumstances, phenomenons advance and retreat.
So a wise ruler needs to read the situation on multiple levels.
Exactly. Knowing when to intervene decisively, when to let things develop naturally, all based on these underlying universal patterns. And the ultimate vision presented in the text is just breathtaking. Clear on this, then three teachings unite one principle. Myriad countries unite one.
Wow. Uniting the teachings, uniting countries.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a call for like political uniformity or forcing one religion. It's suggesting a profound unity of understanding, a shared grasp of the fundamental principle that could transcend cultural and religious differences, leading to universal harmony and truly enlightened governance.
That's an astonishingly holistic vision. Really, Shinyu presents a complete system here. From our deepest inner world, the two hearts,
Mm,
out to the very mechanics of the cosmos with principle, chi, and phenomenon,
right.
and then showing how that translates into a truly harmonious society. We've just taken an incredible journey through Shinyu's on the Heart.
Mm.
We've unpacked that crucial distinction between the precarious human heart and the subtle Tao heart.
Yeah.
We've explored the intricate path of the Huazong method to connect with our true nature.
Mm.
And we've zoomed way out to see how principle, chi, and phenomenon are presented as the very building blocks of the universe, offering a blueprint for sagely wisdom and harmonious governance. It's truly comprehensive, a very integrated philosophy.
And the author, Xinyu, concludes with this potent message, doesn't he? Hoping fellow practitioners carefully consider, do not waste light time.
Right. Don't waste time.
And it's just theory to be admired,
Ugh.
or just an interesting historical text to analyze. It's presented as a direct, almost urgent call to inner work, to understanding, a reminder not to let this profound knowledge merely pass us by, but to actually integrate it into our lives.
So you've heard about illuminating, cultivating, and preserving the heart. All these different approaches. But what if the truest shortcut to being well-informed about yourself, about others, about the world, lies not in just accumulating more external information, more data,
Hmm.
but in truly understanding the two profound natures of the heart that, according to this text, already exist within you? Which heart do you find yourself nourishing daily? The precarious human heart, driven by reactions and desires? Or the subtle day heart, that place of stillness and principle? And what does that choice mean for your own path forward?
A deep question to ponder.
Definitely something to ponder until our next deep dive.